Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Lashonda, and I am the CEO of Dreams and Visions. Dreams and Visions is a group practice that provides mental health services. And so today I'm just going to be talking about burnout. At one point or another, most of us have experienced being like, I am done. And so today I'm going to speak about that. I am going to help you figure out ways to try to avoid getting to the point of burnout. I'm going to give you some practical tools to do it. Now, you might be surprised by some of the things that I share today. The concept that I'm using is not one that I have heard really pushed before. So, like, get your eyes to this screen, get your notebooks and your journals ready because we are going to talk about the real deal connected to burnout and how you can avoid it. So, this presentation is entitled Breaking the Cycle, managing stress before it becomes burnout. And so I am going to be presenting today. And yeah, y'all are in for some good information. We will go through some things that will hopefully teach you some new perspectives to use in looking at the stress in your life and how you can manage it. All right, so here we go, y'all. Drum roll, please. Using love as a healing tool. So, this is the concept that I'm talking about that I don't hear people talk about too often. Love, right? So, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're exploring this really powerful truth. Love is not just an emotion, it's a practice that you can actually use and that can help you to heal. And so today we're going to go through awareness. We're going to talk about balance, and balance is not what you're probably thinking, where like I need everything to be balanced and the same, and I need all equal parts in my life and motherhood and fatherhood and my career and all of that needs to be equal. No, y'all, that's not even real. You will not, you will not get equal parts in all of your life. But when we talk about balance, we're talking about creating a rhythm that works for you and your family. That's all that is. We want a rhythm, a routine that's going to work for you. And guess what? Sometimes even that rhythm and that routine is going to change up on you a little bit. And that's okay. So sometimes you have to redefine what balance even looks like for you in different seasons of your life. So we'll talk through that and then we'll talk about this practical tool of love and how you can use that as a strength. Compassion can heal. And we're going to talk more about that in just a second. All right. Now, understanding stress. First, you have to recognize that stress has impact. Your mind, your body, your spirit are all connected. You can't think that you are going to heal your mind without working on your body. You can't think that you're going to heal your body without working on your mind and your spirit. They all go together. If you want to see real, long lasting change, you have to address your mind, your body, and your spirit. So, the first thing you want to look at is what we call in the counseling world and even in the medical world as well, somatic symptoms, these physiological impacts that you're experiencing in your body. So stress, it's going to trigger some physical responses. You get enough stress, right? You had it up to here. Your body is going to feel that. It creates elevated heart rate, right? You trying to figure out, why am I so tense? Why are my shoulders holding all this tension? Why am I always tired? It's like I never get enough sleep. And then you had a cold. Everybody then had that cold that lasts for 3 months. Y'all, we're not supposed to be sick that long. That's because our immune systems have been weakened, and stress can impact all of that. I mean, stress can lead to some things that you probably don't even what you couldn't even really imagine. Like, oh, I wouldn't think that seizures could be connected to stress. I wouldn't think that, different diagnoses can be connected to stress. But yes, it can. And so managing that stress is then going to lessen the impact that it has on your body. You'll see less somatic symptoms. Then you got emotional experience. When you are stressed out, oh man, anxiety on 10, irritability on 10, overwhelmed, like you got that there's a little bit of patience. You like, look, don't step on my last little bit of, I, mm-mm. So think about the emotions that you feel when your stress isn't managed well. So it not only becomes unfair to you, it becomes unfair to the people around you because we tend to take it out on the people around us. Let's be honest, they feel it. They feel the impact. So there are some emotions that come with stress on your mind, body, and spirit. And then also there's a feeling of disconnection. When you get stressed, right? You get that stress gets to a certain level and you're like, I'm done, checked out, not, don't call me. I'm not listening. I can't get anything done. So, chronic stress, it can disconnect us from our loved ones, from ourselves, from God, from our community. And then that just, it doesn't allow us to be our authentic selves. So, reconnecting is going to begin with awareness and compassion. I need you to recognize stress as a signal and not a sentence. This is just your body's way of saying, hey, over here, pay attention to me. I'm stressed out. I need you to change some things, right? So it's not a sentence. You don't have to experience this ongoing forever. Actually, you really, really don't, because that just intensifies somatic symptoms that you like talk about early grave. Those are the things we don't need in our lives. So I want you to use it as a signal, not a sentence, and listen to the signals your body and your emotions, your mind, your body, your spirit are giving you. All right, common signs of chronic stress. So you got physical symptoms here, headaches, the headache that just won't go away, the muscle tension, sleep disturbances. Like I said earlier, you get enough sleep and you're still tired. You can even start to see some digestive issues. Yeah, food isn't digesting the way it used to, stomach issues, GI tract issues, and you're like, what's going on? Yep. Some symptoms can be physical, and the stress is impacting your body. Some emotional signals that you want to pick up on. Constant worrying, that anxiety, just at a heightened level. Your thoughts are racing, they don't stop. I'm thinking about what's next and how is this going to work and what am I going to do about this and what if this goes wrong and that's called racing thoughts. Your thoughts keep going. Signal, something's wrong. Mood swings and irritability. You're short with everybody. And then you're looking at your to-do list and you're like, I can't, even with the small task. Like your to-do list says, I need to go to the grocery store, and you're like, no, ma'am, I'm not gonna make it. Right? Those daily tasks, or I should say regular tasks, that shouldn't overwhelm us, things that we need to do to live, like cook dinner. When I'm like, oh my goodness, you know what? I can't do dinner. It's too much. I can't think. That means I had to think about what we're gonna eat. I need to go to the grocery store and I need to cook it. That's too much, right? So when these daily tasks that we need to do to live, we have to eat to live, when they become overwhelming, then that is a good sign that you're stressed. And then behavioral changes. So changes in your relationships, You're procrastinating and avoiding everything. I'll do this tomorrow. Nope, I'll do that later. Nope, I don't want to do it ever. Pay attention to that, especially if that's not ever how you were before. Changes in appetite and or substance use can also be behavioral changes that should trigger kind of a light bulb for you, like, oh, wait, something is different here. I'm not behaving and responding the way that I used to. Now, don't fear, right? Because if you recognize those signals in your body, there are ways to break that cycle, right? Because a lot of times that's what's happening. We have an overwhelming amount of symptoms going on, things that are overwhelming us. And then we start getting those signals and we're like, okay, but what do I do with this? So we just get to the point that we've had it up to here. And now we're looking at burnout. We don't want that cycle to keep going. And if you don't change anything, that's what's going to happen. Burnout will have you in some chains that you never intended to be in. Stress will have you in some bondage, some chains that you never intended to be in. And so it's very important that you are intentional about breaking the cycle. Y'all, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. I wasn't fine yesterday, then all of a sudden I woke up the next morning and everything was wrong. No, this is a slow build. It's gradual. The patterns are there and we have to start recognizing them. So if you want to break that cycle, you want to break those chains that are trying to hold you back from being the best version of yourself, you can do it. We just need you to start recognizing those signals that I just talked about. When you recognize the signals, then you can implement some changes to make sure that you aren't going into that same cycle over and over again. All right, so here's some early warning signs of burnout. You're exhausted. You're just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired. And I'll be honest, y'all. Right now, I'm talking to y'all. I'm also talking to myself. I'm like over here, like, look, can we be real can I be transparent? Is this a safe place for me to be real? Because, honey, ma'am and sir, let me tell you, exhaustion is real. And when you are trying to live out the purpose on your life, when you're really passionate about things, right? You can work yourself into exhaustion, but it doesn't have to be that way. So that's one of the signs, exhaustion. Then we have detachment. We talked a little bit about this earlier. I'm done, checked out, brain is not here. You see me, but I'm not really here. I'm not engaged. I'm numb. I am withdrawn. That's going to be detachment, and that's going to be a warning sign. People sometimes may notice that too. So you may have some friends, family members, coworkers that say, "Hey, are you okay? Like, I noticed this was different." Y'all, listen, those people know you and they know your normal behavior. So when they start seeing things changing and they're bringing it to your attention, I want you to take a moment and sit with that and like, hey, is this really what's going on with me? Are these changes really happening for me? And if so, how can I get out of this cycle that I may be putting myself in? And then last thing, performance decline. Look, you know what your normal life looks like, right? So if you see your performance start to decline, you no longer interested. I don't have any motivation. I don't want to do this anymore. I used to do X, Y, and Z. Now I can barely do X. I used to be able to do X, Y, and Z. Now I don't want to do any of it. So pay attention to that. And at the bottom of this slide, you see perfectionism and people pleasing keep us trapped in the burnout cycles. It keeps us trapped. So work on not trying to be perfect. We are not perfect. Humans are not perfect. If you don't hear anything else I say today, humans are not perfect. And people pleasing is going to be your fastest way to anxiety and burnout ever, because you're trying to make everybody else happy. It's not going to work, right? Sorry, it doesn't. Now, let's talk about some practical tools. Using love daily. So, love isn't passive, it's an active practice, right? How we care for ourselves, others, and navigate stress, it all matters. So, let's get some self love routines going on here. Start off your morning with some affirmations and gratitude practices. Intentionally love on other people. Sometimes we've gotten to the point that our we real close to burnout and we just like forget it. I don't care about anything, right? In those moments, there should be some people that you love. Love on them. I challenge you to love on them and see what happens. Even if you don't have it in you to love yourself, love on them and watch that be a part of your healing. What you also want to do is set some loving boundaries. I'm going to have to say no. Nope, I don't have time. Nope, I can't do it right now. And no, I do not feel guilty about it because I am loving myself enough to understand that I have boundaries and that I have to stand on those boundaries. That is totally okay. And then loving awareness. So take some pauses, 5 minutes, pause, think about offering yourself some kindness. Offer kindness to other people. We miss that. We're so busy in the hustle and bustle of life. We don't stop to love on each other. We miss the mark there. And sometimes we don't love on other people because we don't know how to love on ourselves. So it starts with you. Take some moments and be aware of where you are with your love that day. Okay, and then so we got healing through connection. We were not created to do this journey of life alone. And so I need y'all to be intentional about having a community. We all need support. We get this wrong a lot as humans, right? We recognize that it takes a village to raise a child, but we don't recognize often that as an adult, we still need that village. It doesn't go away. The need for the village doesn't disappear just because now, oh, I'm an adult now. Nope, you still need a village. So if you don't have one, I challenge you to find one. You need support. And it's okay to give and receive that support. You have to be vulnerable. You have to let other people know what you need. And that's okay. That can be healing for you. And then professional help is self love. It's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to find a coach that aligns with what you need. Get what you need by any means necessary. And if that includes professional help, you do that. And that is okay. Nothing wrong with that. That is actually a sign of strength when you're able to say, you know what, this is what I need. Let me go get it. If that's a community, if it's professional help, if it's I need a massage today, I'm gonna take a moment and just sit and feel peace and love. That's strength, knowing what you need and actually going to get it. So I want you to do that. And please know that I am going to be so proud of you for doing that. Please come back and tell me how these things worked out for you, how taking these practical tools and implementing them in your life has made a difference. I want to hear from you. So reach out to us. Here's some reflection and takeaway. I want you to do a self check. Where am I on the burnout scale? Be honest with yourself, right? Rate that thing from 1 to 10. One, like, my burnout is low today. Like, I'm feeling good, not feeling a whole bunch of stresses. But 10, like, hey, life about to take me out. Know where you are because you can then use that to intentionally lessen your stressors if you need to. Then here's a journal prompt. What does loving myself look like when I'm tired or unsure? Talk yourself through that. If you talk yourself through it now, when it actually happens, you have a plan to go back to. You don't have to guess, like, oh man, what do I do? I know I'm feeling burned out, but I don't know what to do. If you already have this journaling done, you at least have a few things that you can try out that you've already planned and that you think you know yourself well, that you think will work for you. So take some time and complete that journaling prompt. And then here's a daily affirmation. Today I choose love, not pressure, not perfection, but peace. Today, I choose love. All right. So choose love. Your next step, choose love. Start now. Use that love and the other practical tools that I gave you. Seeking professional help, making sure that you have a community in place, and just knowing your signals, right? When your body is telling you rest, let's listen to it. We don't want to push our bodies to the point of breakdown and burnout. Mm-mm. We only get one body, one temple, and so we need to take care of it. So I want you to work on breaking the cycle, and it starts with one loving choice. What will yours be? One thing, if you can just change one thing, if you are feeling like you are at the point of burnout, I challenge you today to just change one thing about what you have been doing. Be intentional about loving somebody else or even loving yourself. Or even in your spirituality, right? Focusing on God. Take a moment, sit with them. Your creator, he loves you and he understands. So take a moment and choose love. You can connect with us, Dreams and Visions, right? We offer therapy and coaching support. And so you don't have to go through this journey alone. We are here to help you. Just reach out if you need anything or if you need any connections to our therapist. We can get you started ASAP. Just go on our website, dreamsandvisionsatl.com, and click the Get Started button today. And then share your commitment. What are you going to do? Hold yourself accountable, right? Tell a friend about what this video did for you or what you learned from this workshop, right? Breaking the cycle. Help somebody, well, give somebody the information to hold you accountable so that what you just learned doesn't just sit there or go to waste, right? So, how will you practice love this week? Share that with somebody so that they can help in holding you accountable and actually doing it. Now, remember, you are worthy of rest, compassion, and love, especially from yourself. All right, y'all. It's been real. I hope you got something from this session. Breaking the cycle. You deserve love. And if nothing else, start changing the way that you're looking at your burnout. We don't want to get to the point of burnout. So recognize those signals in your body and make changes as soon as you can. All right. I love y'all.